Welcome to the Weekly Option, the podcast for people interested in trading stock options. Each week, we cover trade ideas and opportunities in the stock market right now. Whether you're a beginner, a professional, or just curious about options, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly Option. This is episode 348 on November 8th, 2024. I'm your host, Eric, and in this week's show, we'll cover the trades from last week on Spirit Airlines, Warner Brothers Discovery, and SoFi Technologies, and we discuss three new trades on SoundHound AI, New Holdings, and Intel Corporation. Now, it's always great to hear from listeners. If you have any questions about the trades presented here on today's show or even about your own positions, feel free to email me. You can email questions to eric@theweeklyoption.com. That's ERIC@theweeklyoption.com. I've also created a few videos to teach you all the basics of option trading that you'll need to know to be able to follow along with me on this show. You can visit our website and click on the videos tab to watch them, or visit the YouTube channel for the Weekly Option. Now, the market screeched higher after the election results this past week in the U.S. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 1,936 points, closing at 43,989 points. The S&P 500 index grew 266 points, ending the week at 5,995 points on Friday. Both indices were up 4.6% week over week. And yes, once again, we have all-time highs. Now it's time for the topic of the week. The topic of the week this week is finding trades that work for you. Now, typically, when I speak to people who listen to the podcast, I find out that they listen to a couple other podcasts and maybe watch a couple of YouTube channels as well. That's great, or at least it can be great. It's important to find the trades that work for you personally. Not all trading styles fit every personality. Some people are able to handle the speed and volatility that happens in the morning during that first hour of trading. Some people are better off researching a company and putting on a position that expires in 3 to 6 weeks. Some others are able to wrap their mind around iron condors or some other strategy, and that's just what they focus on. As long as you have an understanding of strategies and how they make and lose money, you can find a style or strategy that works for you. You don't have to do everything and you don't have to know everything. You just need one thing. One trade that you can do over and over again will be more than enough. There's no shortage of opportunities in the option market. You just have to figure out what works for you and the trading style that fits your personality. So that's it for the topic of the week. Let's go ahead and get into the trade review of last week's trades. Now, the markets were up huge this week, and all of the trades on the last show benefit from prices going higher. So let this be a foreshadowing that it was a good week. We'll start off with our cover call on Spirit Airlines, symbol S as in Sierra, A as in Alpha, V as in Victor, E as in Echo. At the time, the stock was trading for $2.40 per share. I looked at buying stock and selling the November 2.5 call at 28 cents, hoping for a return of 15.83% in 2 weeks. Well, shares of Spirit Airlines gained 29 cents, ending the week at $2.69 per share. The call option that we sold grew 3 cents, leaving us with a net gain of 26 cents if we were to close the trade out immediately. Now, that might not sound like much, but given that we only put up $240 on the stock, or $2.40 per share, that's a 10% gain right off the bat for a week. That's not too bad. Now, with shares of stock above $2.50, this trade's going to net us 38 cents if we hold it for one more week and stock expires above $2.50. So this trade has worked out as planned. No adjustments are needed. Nice trade. Next up, we have the credit spread on Warner Brothers Discovery, symbol W as in whiskey, B as in Bravo, D as in Delta. At the time, the stock was trading for $8.13 per share. I looked at selling the November 8 7.5 put spread at 17 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 33 cents per spread. Well, shares of Warner Brothers Discovery grew $1.05, ending the week at $9.18 per share. The out-of-the-money put spread that we sold is still out of the money. The spread could be bought back for 3 cents, or you can simply wait 5 days for the trade to expire. As long as the stock stays above $8 per share, we will keep the full 15 cents that we collected for selling the spread. So no adjustments are needed on this one either. keep track of stock prices over the next 5 days for sure, just to make sure that things are finishing as expected, but no adjustments are needed on this one either. And then our final trade from last week is going to be a debit spread. We looked at SoFi Technologies, symbol S as in Sierra, O as in Oscar, F as in Foxtrot, I as in India. At the time, the stock was trading for $11.15 per share. I looked at buying the November 10-half 11 call spread for 33 cents. That could give us a maximum gain of 17 cents, or that's a 51.52% return in 2 weeks. Well, shares of SoFi picked up $1.85, closing on Friday at $13 per share. The in-the-money call spread that we bought is even deeper in the money, which means this trade fared well too. With stock above $11, we are expecting to collect our full profit of 51.5% in 2 weeks. Now keep track of the stock price on all of these expiring positions and make sure you have a plan for how you will handle the positions in case stock moves against you in the coming week. But at the time, no adjustments are needed, and this trade has worked out as planned as well. So 3 up, 3 winners. Love that. That makes me much happier than losing trades in general. Even if it's a little money, I don't like losing, and that actually affects my trading sometimes too. But that's another topic of the week for another day. So let's get into the new trades for this week. As an FYI, November expiration is next Friday, November 15th. Keep track of any open November positions you have. Certainly if they are monthly positions, that's what I'm referring to. All new trades on today's show will use the December 20th expiration for monthly positions in December. So let's start off with the covered call. Looking at SoundHound AI, symbol S as in Sierra, O as in Oscar, U as in Uniform, N as in November. The stock ended the week at $7.20 per share. I'm looking at buying stock and selling the December 8 call at 71 cents. That could give us a return of 20.97% in 6 weeks. You enter this trade by buying stock for $7.20 per share and selling the December 8 call at 71 cents. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $8 per share. The break-even price is $6.49 per share. In real terms, the stock purchase would require $720 and you'll collect $71 for selling the option. Next up is a credit spread. Looking at new holdings, symbol N as in November, U as in Uniform. The stock ended the week at $15.22 per share. I'm looking at selling the December 15-14 put spread at 35 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 65 cents per spread. Now you enter this trade by selling the December 15 put at 78 cents and concurrently buying the December 14 put for 43 cents. This is a credit spread because we're selling the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $15 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $14.65 per share. In real terms, you'll collect $35 per spread that you sell and have $65 at risk. Our final trade for this week is going to be a debit spread on Intel Corporation, symbol I as in India, N as in November, T as in Tango, C as in Charlie. The stock ended the week at $26.20 per share. I'm looking at buying the December 25-26 call spread for 61 cents. That could give us a maximum gain of 39 cents, or that's a 63.93% return in 6 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying the December 25 call for $2.25 and concurrently selling the December 26 call at $1.64. This is a debit spread because we're buying the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $26 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $25.61 per share. In real terms, you'll pay $61 to enter the spread, and your maximum gain is $39 per spread. So that's it for this week's show. Thank you guys for staying with me. I know this one's going to be a pretty quick, pretty short show. I happen to be recording this from a hotel overlooking Times Square in New York City. So there is some background noise I'm going to have to filter out as well. It's always nice to be back in New York. I only lived here for one summer back in grad school when I got to intern at one of the Wall Street firms. And then I ended up taking a job in the energy business in Houston. But it's nice to be back here. Times Square is a bit much, but I had some great walks today through my favorite. I love the Village. I love going to Washington Square Park. I love Union Square. I actually went to the library up at 42nd Street and what's that, 5th Avenue or so. So any of you Norkers or any of you people who know and love the city will know what I'm talking about. The library is beautiful. The Grand Central is beautiful. The parks are great. It's been a wonderful time in New York City, but I'm ready to get home and make some more money. So vacation is nice. Went to a show last night on Broadway for an event. And now I get to go back home and get back in the game. It's been quite a week. It's a hell of a rally after the election. So hopefully you made some money regardless of your position politically. If you were down, I hope the money you made brought you higher. And if you were happy, well, I hope the money you made you even happier. Hopefully we can hold on a bit longer and keep it going. All right. So that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. And as always, happy trading. Thank you for listening to the Weekly Option Podcast. Please subscribe to our show and visit us at www.theweeklyoption.com. Disclaimer, there is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. The indicators and strategies described in this podcast are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. For our full disclaimer, visit our website at www.theweeklyoption.com.